Week. All right, you guys ready to start? All right, we've checked all the levels, set all the sound. We did all our. Oh, are we streaming? Oh, okay, cool. Hey, welcome to the show. My name is Matt.
Nice to meet you. Are you the host?
I am a host. Yes.
I'm the host, Matt. And there's this Joker.
Joining us in studio, as always, is the disembodied voice of Joe. Say hi.
Good evening.
Oh, that was a bit slow. I'm sorry. Say hi.
Good evening.
Oh, thank you. This is the disembodied voice of Joe. We have temporarily found him a body. We're going to see how that works out tonight. Let us know what you think. It's a vast improvement on before, so. Let's see. We've got a good show for you guys. I've already lost the intro spiel, so I'm not going to say let's have a chat Matt to Matt. I was gonna, but now I can't.
That thing you just said, you're not going to say?
Not going to say it.
Let's have a chat.
I would never say something like that on air, so I'm never going to. We've already got the chat. Let's. I don't want to lose you guys. Let's see. First, really, Ben. People are still doing that.
He is. He was
He
first.
is, apparently. First,
Only
no
one.
sound. No sound. Using guest mics. No, they're good at this. Still no sound, bro. Yes. Lol. Ha 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 ha. Thanks. Hey, we want some activity in the chat. Just cut the mics and everybody. All right. Well, thanks for that. We appreciate the help. All right, so we've got some fun things to talk about today. If you're curious what it is we're going to be talking about, it's always in the description. Now that I say that, it's never going to wind up there, but it's typically in the video description on the stream. You should be able to see what we have planned for this evening. And so... Sorry, my hotkeys aren't working.
Something's
It's my
working,
makeshift
though.
cough button. All right, so this last week it was April Fool's. The whole week. No, it was April Fool's this week on the normal day. And there were some really interesting ones. I don't know if you guys saw some interesting ones in your life. If you did, share it in the chat. If somebody did something really, really foolish to you, or you did to someone else, let us know. Let us know what we can share. This.
Made a fool of.
Were you made a fool of? That's possible. Happens to some of us. Let me pull these up real quick. You know what? I'll have Joe pull these up real quick. Why don't you grab my favorite? That would be the new egg. I saw a couple of people share this. Some of you may have seen this already, but we're going to look at it again for your enjoyment. So, April Fools, typically, I'm usually aware enough on April Fools, like the day leading up to it, to just not take anything the least bit outlandish as like real. But a couple of them got me where I for a split second forgot it was April 1st and was fooled for a quick second. This was not one of them. This one was, well, let's just say a bit much. So, taking a look at this. Newegg had this promotion up on their electronics website where they sell consumer electronics.
Yo.
As we were saying, let's hold on. Let's transition over to cut to the guy back at the desk. Oh, thanks.
Hold this.
So, Project Mega with 2 G's, as in Newegg, Mega. World's first 9-screen laptop. What makes this particularly entertaining is that this is not as outlandish as it looks. It is, but it's not.
It's coming soon.
At CES, Consumer Electronics Show in January, where all the the consumer electronics companies come and they show all their cool stuff. They had a lot of like VR stuff. Of course, that's the first topic I bring up. They had a lot of cool stuff talking about like new phones, new laptops. AMD announced their Ryzen series that week and showed off a bunch of that. So it's just where they show a lot of cool things. Well, at CES, Razer, who makes gaming gear but has also started making computers recently, they make laptops, had a like special edition laptop that were 3 screens, and it folded out much the same way this one does, where first screen folds up and the 2 fold out to the side. So they were just taking a page out of their book. Let's scroll down there real quick. There's video. I can get your audio, right? See if you can play that.
I like Amor's question. I've never heard that. I've never seen that word used that way. For those of us that are uniformed about the technology world, we will need an explanation about this body for Joe.
What happened? I'm sorry.
Nothing. I'm just being nitpicky.
All right, I'm not getting audio from your laptop. I'm sorry, man.
Yeah, good.
It's probably not your fault, but I'm gonna say it is. So anyway, let's just go back to that thing and read down the funny things were the descriptions of the computer itself. Let's see. World's second laptop with 3 screens, and 3 more screens, and then 3 more screens below those other screens. That's 9 screens, which is 6 more than Razer. Yeah, see, they know what they did, and 8 more than your dumpster peasant laptop, but not 10 screens. That's too many. So if you don't know, the rest of those are absolutely absurd. They're absurd stats for it. What are those? They're not stats. They're specs. Thank you. They're absurd specs, except 128 gigabytes. I actually saw somebody who had 128 gigabytes in their custom desktop, so it is outrageous for like the laptop. I think they should.
That is insane.
It is insane, but they should have gone with like 256 or something like that to make it a little more, push it over the edge. Yeah, my favorite was Cherry MX power supply because that's, Cherry MX is a type of key switch, so it's like I put Hemi wheels on my car, and it's like Hemi it makes an engine. It's like I got a super dope 400 horsepower Hemi wheels on my car. It's like that. Anyway,
Wheels.
yeah. Well, they're what go. So
Naturally, yeah.
horse with no legs ain't gonna go anywhere.
I might actually have
Not that I've seen.
those switches in my keyboard. I just don't
Cherry
know what
MX?
called. It might,
They're
it might
the
be Cherry.
for the good mechanical keyboards. They use Cherry MX switches, and they vary from. Oh, we're still on you, bruh.
Oh,
Sorry, I just wanted to point out the price. I'm just gonna say we're trying a couple different new systems tonight, so that's why we're not getting.
back.
That's why we're not getting any audio, but yeah, just the prices. Save $1, which is 0.00003%, and free shipping. Pre-order now. So yeah, that was pretty good. The BBC one, pull that one up. This one was my favorite. That actually didn't fool me, but I thought it was funny anyhow. Yeah, Eckert says his favorite were the tiny loudspeakers, or the loudspeakers with tiny confetti cannons, because that's not too outlandish for these computers these days. Sorry, I'm trying to make this easier to read, and I'm making it more difficult because that's how we do things around here.
I can bring that over if you want.
Okay. Yeah, we will oh, thank you. Just a quick while we're paused here, I'm reading the chat. So the disembodied face of Joe.
No, just the face.
He's slouching. So I'm waiting for it to live. So we've got a separate camera pointed at Joe in the corner, and we've given him a body, which we made of paper mache and
Paper mache, quality paper
papier
mache.
mache. And then we colored a couple of the lines are a bit funky. My son helped with those, and he's only 3, so the eyeballs move really well, though. I think we did a really good job with those. Cross eye.
That's the best I can do.
So yeah, we'll make a how-to video on how to build a papier mache body for a disembodied voice. Yes, the most interesting man in the basement. So
Keep it mysterious.
let's see. Yeah, go down to number 2. I'm pretty sure it was number 2. This is BBC News ran an article that was the top Yeah, that one. So these were their top April Fools around the world. Number 2 is my favorite. Some of them were okay. Number 2 is my favorite. It says Russian hackers on demand. Inspired by claims that Kremlin-sponsored hackers tried to rig the U.S. election, Russia's foreign ministry, which is actually Russia's actual foreign ministry, shared a new answering machine for Russian diplomatic missions abroad on Facebook. This is an actual thing. I clicked on it. I couldn't read any of it. It was actually in Russian. I'm going to take their word for it that it was legit. But it said, to arrange a call from a Russian diplomat to your political opponent, press 1. The fake switchboard message suggests your other options: press 2 to use the services of Russian hackers, or 3 to request election interference. How self-aware do you have to be to... I don't know. What do you think? Is that...
Funny? Yeah.
Is that
that's
more
pretty
like?
darn
Is it
funny.
more or less likely that they actually did something to the election? Would they not play a joke like that if they actually had, or since they did, a joke like that is funny? From their perspective, after seeing that, do you think it's more or less likely that they actually did tamper with the election?
I mean, Russians are really well known for their sense of humor, right?
Exactly.
Yeah. So.
When laughing at when laughing at Americans, I'm not gonna bore you guys with my yeah, I got rid of the picture-in-picture thing today, so luckily you did not see the Russian impersonation I did with my face just then. So, all right. So there's one other on that list.
I have the YouTube.
I keep going to bring up the. I keep going to bring up the list and I can't find it. One sec. Where's that?
What?
The email I sent. Can't find that
It's
email.
in my email inbox.
Hey, is it now?
You want to see it on mine?
Yes, please.
I know the best way to get it to you. Just email.
No. I'm trying to bring it up on your screen so I can see it. There we go. There's one more. Oh, thank you. Yes, I knew there was one more and I couldn't remember what it was. Bring that one on up. Full screen that for us. So this one, for a hot sec, this one actually got me. The other two did not.
We got sound.
As soon as I
Video.
bonkers. We don't, but let me try something. Let me try something.
I like all the posts about April 1st, the day when everybody scrutinizes the stories they read on the internet,
Yes.
like as opposed to any of the other days of the year.
Which is funny. April Fool's year.
People
yeah,
actually
everybody just
fact check.
or it's funny because they have no problem going like, that's not true. Yeah, so and so said it. Yeah, but were they lying? People do that sometimes on April 1st. The rest of the year, no, rest of the year is not. Yeah. Let me see. Hit play for a second. Let me see if I get any audio in.
That's why. Plugged it into my.
Hey, we found it. It was your mic input, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it happens. All right. Let me switch this over real quick. Bam. All right, so this was GeForce. This is a little USB.
Mike's not on.
Are we back? Hello.
Hola.
I don't know. We'll see.
Says live stream offline.
Well, you're looking at the archive. You're not gonna see if there any archive.
Naturally.
Sure. Restore the pages.
It says 1 moment, please.
Good. Probably hear us in a second too.
Okay, they said we can hear you, but we can't see you.
Good. That means we're back at it. Okay. So as I had said before, we are trying a couple different things tonight, and one of them apparently was one too many, and it overtaxed my computer. I run a very delicate, very fine line between desktop computer in a case this big, and overheating.
We have
So-
visuals.
Yay. Look at that. Our second start was better than our first. I'm glad it died. So, I'm not actually So yeah, I downsized my computer to make it extra mobile, and it has heat problems if I tax it too hard. So I'm blaming myself because
Just blame your tiny.
it's never done this before. It's
Self-service.
never done this. No, it's never done this before.
Never overheated, not once.
Not during a live stream. It overheats. It will lock up. I had to put the little heat monitor that's an overlay over everything you do. Stick it on my screen so that when it overheats and locks up, I can check. See, here it is right here. So I can check and see what temperature it overheated at, because it happened so often when I was playing playing my VR. Anyway, yay! They can see us. They can hear us. Goodness, thank you
Alright,
so much.
so
Where were we?
We got that video.
We do have that video.
And I think we have sound.
Hypothetically. Oh, and I'm not linked to you. Hold on. Hey yo.
This is the show. Like, we should do technical difficulty troubleshooting for people.
Welcome to Technical Difficulties, the show.
No, I'm gonna have to. overheat
Someday
this.
we'll do Technical Difficulties, the movie.
Stop
You'll just
it.
show up to the theater, the projector will shut down, and the ushers are just like, the doors are locked and we can't get them open. Ah, my wand turned off. Technical Difficulties, the movie.
Ushers get wands? I never saw that.
Or the
Well, I'm thinking
or the
of
whole
people,
movie.
Like, on
The whole
runway.
movie is like the cameraman hits like turns on and he's like, okay, that's a wrap, and he carries his camera off,
They're ready.
sets it down, and then they have lunch for like an hour. Boy, that was a perfect shot. I'm glad we got that. Print.
You can-
Anyway.
Hey, that happened to him.
Yeah.
Apparently
you can-
Sorry. No, stop. Goodness. Right. So, was I connected? And I'm connected twice. What's going on here? It's all right. We're just unlocking Easter eggs. Somebody's collecting coins on Mario.
There we go.
Mario.
That's what I'm talking
That
about.
used to be my sister.
I don't even know where I got that. That's funny. What, you guys have a falling out or something?
Yeah,
Yeah,
she
switch
fell
to
out of the
display.
family
Ah.
into another family.
Other display.
Man. What was that? Sorry.
While we're waiting, you guys can make requests for animal sounds. I'll do my best. Here's
How about
jellyfish.
Velociraptor? Jellyfish?
That's what it is. Yeah. Do you want to hear sea turtle now?
That's terrible.
The jellyfish and plastic bags look just like each other. That's
Okay.
it.
All right. That's clever. Let me see if I can get my
don't know
share.
what's
Hey,
our
look, my
pandas
share's
make.
working. How about that? Whew. All right. So, pretty sure everything's working.
All right. So what is
Where
this?
were we? April Fools. Nvidia makes graphics cards, GeForce graphics cards, and they put out this video announcing that they have this new AI on a USB stick you stick in, and it helps you play your games better. So let's have a look at that.
Loud enough?
And today, we're excited to announce the biggest revolution in PC gaming history. The GeForce GTX G-Assist. This comes packed with deep learning algorithms that use the power of your GeForce GPU to bring artificial intelligence to gaming. So
Looks really
let's say
cool.
you're playing an intense game of 3v4 Rainbow Six Siege, and suddenly there's a knock on the door. What do? You can't leave your teammates hanging, but you can't leave the pizza guy waiting outside either, or he'll yell at you again. Now, there's a solution. Now with GeForce Ghostplay, you never have to compromise again. AI that watches how you play can mimic you, and you can tweak it with settings like actions per minute, how offensive or defensive you'd like to be, language preferences, and whether you'd like to taunt or emote while you're not even at your seat. You still get your pizza, and your teammates get your invaluable skills.
So it displays for you.
We've all been there. You're playing Dark Souls 3, you're taking on the Nameless King, and he's just destroying you. So what are you to do? Well, now there's Boss Boost. This feature uses artificial intelligence to figure out the best and most stylish way to take out any boss in the game. Use it once per game, record it to shadow play, and share it with all your friends. Don't worry, they'll never know it wasn't really you. So let's say you've settled in for an intense gaming session, right? You're in your comfiest chair, your ergonomic mouse, and you almost never have to get up. But for you, that's still too often. The NVIDIA Nurture automatically monitors the ideal time to take food and beverage breaks to maximize gaming output. It can tell you when your drinks have been fully chilled, or order takeout and send it right to your door.
Hot Pockets?
You don't have to stop
Of course
gaming. So, never go AFK again, beat the toughest bosses, maintain peak gaming performance, and learn from the best gamers on the planet. That's the future with GeForce Assisted Gaming.
Yeah.
Kind of looks like somebody that would work for Nvidia, doesn't he?
The sad part is jokes like that aren't like as much to fool people as well. I guess the reason they fool people is because it's not beyond the realm of possibility. There are people who go, "Oh, really? Because I really need one of those. That would change my life." So that's the sad part about it. Is
Cool inventions start in sci-fi. Really cool inventions start on the internet on
Yeah.
April Fool's Day.
When they have androids and holodecks next year. Well, they do have holodecks.
I know what a holodeck is.
You don't know what a
It's from Star Trek.
Oh. I don't know.
Sometimes I forget who I'm talking to over
It's
here.
just like a virtual reality area.
It is. It
for-
is a virtual. Exactly. It's a virtual reality room. It's a holographic deck because they're on a ship. What's amazing is I think I showed you this, and you probably went, "Wow," and didn't tell me why you didn't understand it. In the Vive, in my HTC Vive VR headset, there's a setting where you can change. If you've never tried a VR system before, virtual reality, your desktop is a 3D space. So you just kind of have this area where you're in while you're not in a game. And it's normally this giant, eternal plane of, and then there's like, mountains and stars, and it's like, ooh, you're in a space. I changed that to a holodeck. Like literally the walls and the floor and the ceiling are all black with the orange lines, and then there's like a little door archway, just like on Star Trek Next Generation. So when I put on my VR headset, poof, I'm in a holodeck. And then I start playing
Awesome.
fake games. Yeah, it
Sweet.
is really awesome.
Fake games.
I start playing
Fake games. Those aren't real games. Those are.
You think you're getting points? They're not points. They're fake points.
That's funny, Amor. That's funny.
What did Amor say? This sounds like something that will have to be reality when our generation gets into nursing homes. Yes, definitely.
I used to do that, Andrew. On the why don't we stop letting humans play games? We should just watch computers fight against each other. When I got bored, when I was playing with my dad's Palm Pilot, I'd be like, all right, just make both players computers. Next turn, next turn, next turn. White one!
Oh, that's funny. Assisting gaming. I've fallen and I can't get up in my game.
Someone mentioned Rogue One in the comments.
That's going to be
Did they really?
Matt, though, with,
Wait.
when he goes too hard in the John Wick
I don't know,
simulator.
Eckert said that actually happened to me. Yeah, right there.
Oh. And you,
Rogue One came out on
When the ushers had the wands or
DVD
something.
and Blu-ray
Oh,
today.
see, I lost the context. I'm sorry. Really? Wait,
Yes, I
just
own
pretend you're munching some bamboo. Gotcha. Okay, so
That was for me.
yeah, I got that.
They don't want to see you do that.
Wait, what happened during Rogue One? Tell me this story, Eckert. Did like the projector shut down? Did you have to leave the theater? Was it like mid-movie? Tell us all in text, really quick. That stinks. I've never had a technical issue at a movie before.
Never.
Nah.
I got to see it. I got another
I've seen a
ticket
lot of
from
movies.
Prince of Persia, Sands of Time, Jake Gyllenhaal.
For what?
It was just like, woo! Yeah, our theater's not working now. Here's a free ticket. Leave. There's a guy with a big roll of tickets on the way out. I'm telling you, man. You can ask my cousin. He
What's
was
nice
there.
is like the power went out and nobody really noticed. They thought it was just the screen because like the whole place is dark anyway. Luckily, the usher had like a little light and he was guiding us to the exits with it. They come prepared for that kind of thing. Anyway, so that was it for the April Fool's stuff. Like I said, if there was any that anybody did to you specifically, let me know. I don't think I've ever had somebody try and fool me or tried to fool someone else. I've always thought that would backfire dangerously. I would be the person who is like, guess what? And the person like breaks down crying, and I'm like, oh no, I'm just kidding, or like, breaks up with you or something like, it would
And then
backfire.
They look
on
up
me.
and they say, I was just fooling.
Yeah.
Something backfired on me though once. Here's an April Fool's story. My brother Nate one year taped the water hose on the sink so it would spray at you when you'd turn the sink on. You'd think it'd come out the faucet, but it get you in the face. So I was like, that's rather clever, huh? And then, not on April Fool's, the following day I did it and got a tongue lashing from my mom when she turned it on. She was like,
What do you think this is? April 1st?
I don't know what she
April
said.
2nd. Get your stuff together.
Like, oh, May
Uh,
could do it, but I
yeah.
can't.
Of course not. It's context, buddy. It's all about context. Anyway,
April
so
showers. That's what I should have said.
April showers.
funny. So
Oh, we got
hold on a
the
moment.
All right, Obama.
Hold on. The autofocus is being dumb. Let me fix that real quick. So we got a couple other things
Oh,
we want to
Eckert,
get through before we
Eckert got
stop.
his,
Yeah, you want to read Eckert's story? Real quick?
What? Eckert. I had the video cut out in the middle. We had sound for about 4 minutes during the fight. When they got to the last fight, we had no idea who was dying or why names were being screamed dramatically.
Oh man.
Joe's laughing at your misfortune. And I'm laughing because he's
I'm now
laughing
laughing
your
at the misfortune.
People always used to laugh at my misfortune. It was a terrible AD carry. That's why. Anyway,
Better
Um,
Caitlin.
League reference.
everyone's a better Caitlyn than a misfortune. Okay, let's.
Speaking of
oh,
fighting,
speaking of fighting, I love. This is sarcastic. I love how these websites are like, hey, here's a news story, and then. Sorry, I'm not gonna rant on that. Let's see.
I hate
Transition.
when podcasts
So-
are like, "Hey, here's
Sorry.
news." And
No,
then don't
it's
talk.
you can tell the reputability of a website by the ads it has on it. Where it's like all the ones that you get down to the bottom of your news story, and it's just like this superfood that's like some sea urchin, and it's like, oh, not this, like this other thing that we're not showing pictures. Superfood could save your life. Seriously, you ever seen
Misleading
those?
thumbnails
Mislead-
bother
well,
you?
Well, yeah, but
Like when people might have an onion talking to the camera, and okay, all right, what is it for real?
this onion has the truth. No, anyway, so this is a story from the UK Daily Mail, and this goes back to something we were talking about last week with people kind of having kind of open season on YouTubers. This just basically this headline: Google blood money, web giant, as if people don't know who it is. Google, who's that? You know, the web giant. Oh yeah, cashes in on vile 7-minute video showing knife expert penetrating a stab vest like the one worn by murdered Westminster PC. It's a police constable, pretty sure. So this guy writes this story about how absolutely, as he puts it,
horrifying.
vile. This is a vile video, not
I know, that
viral.
just
I think he might have meant viral
I
video.
don't think so.
No, he didn't.
It just seems so unbiased and dispassionate, you know, to start off on that foot.
I mean,
Cashes
look,
in on.
look at that headline. It's one of those ones they use as a joke where Michael Scott's like, headline, newspaper makes amends and shows some people still know how business is done in the 21st century in Scranton, PA. And it's like,
What,
that's
they're
not a
just going
headline,
for the
that's a
long
story.
form, for the
That's not a
old form of
headline, it's a
headline.
story. Anyway,
I want to know the punchline, Andrew. Whenever you're ready. Why do Native Americans hate April? But you're on with your story, and then
Now
I'll
I'm
interrupt
curious.
again.
anyway, so this is a hit piece on the guy. It says a Mail on Sunday investigation today exposes how Google has cashed in on a sickening YouTube video that shows viewers how to kill someone in a stab vest like the one won by police constable Keith Palmer when he was murdered in the Westminster terror attack. Oh, I'm like trying to shake off that share section. The vile video was online for 6 months before the outrage and could have been viewed for could be viewed for days after, despite widespread warnings that UK jihadists use such material, for training. This is the guy right down here. It's the Jorg. I don't know how his name is pronounced. He's German. German weapons obsessive Jorg Spray pictured. Uploaded a video to YouTube showing how to kill someone wearing a stab vest. That is entirely, scroll back up to the top. That is entirely untrue. What happened was...
Is it not 7 minutes long?
It is. It's not. It's like 6:57.
There you go.
What happened was this guy, he has the Slingshot channel, I think is the name of his YouTube channel. He makes like fully auto rubber band guns. That's what this guy does on his channel, or makes like slingshots that shoot IKEA pencils. He's been on YouTube for years. He makes a living at it. He's got I think it's over 1 million followers. Yeah, he has over 1 million subscribers. And the purpose of this video, which I first read this and I was like, well, that's, you can't really blame him for the death of somebody, but seriously, that kind of video probably shouldn't be up there. What he was doing was he was showing that this stab-proof vest he ordered off Amazon sucked. And he was showing, look, you can just put a knife straight through it. So this
I think
picture,
you had to alter the knife a little bit.
yeah,
It's true. They mentioned that.
he had to alter the knife to put through it.
Yeah.
He had to alter his knife to put it through it. So essentially, he was saying that the materials they used in making his vest were like crappy. So his channel is not training on, hey, here's how to kill a person. He was just showing that it's really, really, really crappy. But certainly not a vile 7-minute video. And like I said, we talked about last week, it's like open season on YouTubers these days. About, just, oh my gosh, can you believe what these ads are being put next to? And can you believe how horrible this content is? So, yeah.
Who are the primary critics?
Well, the primary critics are the Wall Street Journal.
Huh. Weird.
Yeah.
The big paper,
Strange.
newspaper that people read.
Yeah, right.
No.
Why would a
I don't read it.
newspaper care what happens online? They're like totally different things. The
Okay.
online world, there's the newspaper world. There's the people who read the newspaper. They're
Makes
not
me laugh to
online.
think. I don't know. There's some movie of like, I might be thinking of Harry Potter though. But I swear there's some like in the future there's gonna be newspapers that automatically update with the newest stories, and I'm like your phone.
Yeah, exactly. So I keep getting those
So you buy one newspaper. And
turned
that's-
off. Yeah, I turned off the notifications for those from Flipbook or Flipit or whatever the news app thing, and it keeps popping up anyway. I don't know how to shut it off. It's irritating. I don't want to be informed.
That's the spirit.
Anyway, so obviously this is a bit of like tabloid journalism. It's a hit piece. They had this video taken down. He got a big strike on his channel. After reviewing it, YouTube put the video back up as it is. They're like, "Oh, I'm sorry. No, there's nothing wrong with this. I don't know what we were doing. I don't know why we were listening to this joker." And so he actually wasn't like punished at all because YouTube looked at it and was like, "Well, this guy's being crazy." No, that's not a training video. Like I said, the guy made a soccer ball launcher that's like a rifle, and it launches it like 1,000 yards or something like that.
One member.
Ben says the dudes in sandals. Connection to Islam is obvious. They don't all wear sandals. Not all Muslims wear sandals.
Yeah. He may not have intentionally been trying to help people overpower police, but that is knowledge that will help people accomplish that.
That
That's
is-
why he is being vilified.
That is true. However, if they know that, now the police know that too.
That's right.
And now the police know, hey, maybe we should use better vests. Maybe we should have something other than aluminum, which is what they had in his vest. I don't know if it's the exact
Are
same
you
one.
giving away secrets? Are you giving away the secrets of safety vests?
Yeah, he actually he put up a video. I'm not gonna play it. I'm leery of playing specific popular YouTube videos on here because you can get copyright struck pretty hard. But he put up a video after his other video got put back up. He posts this super trolly post, and he's like, "Hey guys, back to the whole terrorist training. All right, here's today's lesson. Shh, this is a knife. This is the handle. This is the pointy part. Don't share this information with anyone else. Point this end towards the bad guy. Now you know. There's your terrorist training for the day." So,
First rule of Sprave Club. I don't know. No, butchered it. Wrong. Moving on.
first rule of what? Sorry.
Sprave. That's his name.
Yeah,
Sprave
Sprave.
Club. Yeah,
Club.
that's a good name.
Got it. Sprave Club.
Mhm.
I got a little lost in there. Anyway, let's see. Pull up the other one. So the guy who wrote this story saying, when you point out flaws in security that can lead to someone exploiting those flaws, that's a horrible, horrible thing to do, and you're gonna get people killed, and you're responsible for that and everything. Well, this young man, what's his name? Simon Murphy Well, Simon Murphy also wrote a story for the UK Daily Mail back in August of 2013, so a couple of years ago. Airport security farce: deadlier knives than used on 9/11 sold in duty free, and which is where you can buy things after you go through security, and taken on London flight. So scroll down a bit. This guy, right here. Major security concerns have been raised after a Mail on Sunday reporter boarded a British Airways flight to London carrying 5 knives bought in an airside duty-free shop.
Duty.
Duty-free.
Twister.
My story.
With blades longer than those used by the 9/11 hijackers. He walked on to the packed plane after buying...
Unchecked.
What's that?
He walked unchecked.
Sorry, the text shows up funky on my screen for some reason.
Oh,
It's
you're
like
right, it does.
it's like a weird. It's weird. It's weird. Anyway, so he walks unchecked. He takes him on the plane. This is a picture of him in the lavatory going, "Look at me. I brought knives on an airplane, and so can you. Here's my guide and where to get them." Scroll down a bit. This one really ticked me off. The one of him in his seat. Look at that thug life picture.
Yeah, he
I'm
looks
on an
so
airplane.
Gangster.
Here's my Swiss Army knife. How safe is this? I'm just saying, and anybody else could. I could go take over the plane with this thing. I wouldn't, but you
He
could if you
could?
wanted to.
Yeah, I
Is
don't think-
essentially what he's saying here. Guys, does anybody know you can do this? And here's how. Essentially, this is the dumbest thing I've ever seen for this young man. Was he 12? 13? This young man
That's terrible.
to I'm sorry.
That's terrible.
It
Taking
is.
knives on a plane is not terrible, but what
For-
you just said was
to
terrible.
do this in 2013 and then to turn around and say, "Hey, this guy with a knife stabbing a vest of his own, saying, 'Look how easy to put a knife through a vest,' is responsible for training jihadists and stuff." It's sensationalism, and right now the hottest topic of this
the jihadist
sensationalism-
topic. Sorry, go on. Can we get a strike from
sorry.
YouTube for that?
No, I just had a picture of like Hot Topic redone with like turbans and burqas. Jihad Topic.
All
Yeah.
right, I think you're onto something.
Anyway, what was I saying? Anyway, so it's silly, and you can tell it's silly, and you can tell this guy knew for a fact what he was writing was silly, because it's not like he's just principled and sensitive, because he did the same dang thing himself. It just speaks to the motive of, here's something I can cash in on right now. Everyone hates YouTube. Everyone hates the racist, horrible, terrible YouTube videos that are out there, like PewDiePie.
That racist? Nazi?
He's a Nazi. I do not see the problem with PewDiePie. I watch
Oh,
all
funny
his
one.
videos.
Where'd you get that?
To which the guy replies, "Really? Did you not see his last one?" Anyway.
Yeah.
All right. So I'm gonna have to try this. I'm gonna have to try this on the fly because I didn't get a chance to send them over to you yet, Joe. But what are we looking at?
I remember reading this last night, and I saw some comments that I liked. I'm trying to find them.
Oh, okay. Go ahead and try and hunt those down while I try and hunt these down.
Is it sad
Oh,
that that's what...
Oh, go
Oh,
ahead.
sorry. No, just on that last thing, on that knives. Not knives on the airplane. On the last thing, on the spray video. That's what journalism has kind of descended to. Parsing through YouTube comments. There was like, I don't know, maybe 40 paragraphs in that article, and like 25 of them were, this YouTuber said. That's
a great way to get statements, right?
Yeah, but...
Yeah, but it's
Crap.
notorious. It's notorious, and it's
com-
like a source of mine down that back alley where all the crack hoes hang out. It's like, really? That's what we've come to?
Also
That's
known as
where
the comment section.
That's exactly
This is
right.
1-to-1. I'm not talking comparisons. I was just being more specific. So, where was I? Here we go.
I was I think it's important to note it was a flight to London. He bought the knives. The reporter bought the knives in a shop. It was like an airplane, like airport shop.
Airplane
He
shop.
went through security. He bought the knives, and it's a different country. That was in he was leaving from Switzerland, I think. Was it Switzerland?
Was he really?
Swiss Army?
Sorry.
Yeah, Swiss knife.
Huh.
Yeah. But,
That's military grade weapons there. Their army uses them. Never mind.
I cut my thumb playing
Yeah.
with a Swiss Army knife.
It's a Swiss.
once. I'll have
It's a
you
Swiss
know.
Army knife. Anyway,
Yeah.
sorry, you were saying, Joe.
Oh yeah, this one commenter, he might be Swiss. I don't know, because he says maybe we're not as paranoid as some Anglo-Saxon countries who treat every human being on this planet as a potential threat and record every movement, every email, every chat line of everyone they can grab their fingers on.
Fault 7.
All seven.
That's not ironic or anything. Oh, I'm not being sarcastic right now. Okay, yeah. So let's pop off that real quick. Let me try and bring these up.
We're doing the universe thing. I want to talk. I want
can
to
you check the chat
philosophize.
for me real quick. I'm gonna bring. I wanted to have more time for this, but or maybe we'll see. So there's a couple of videos here. Let me bring this up.
So this infinitely
Hello.
dense point of 13.8 billion years ago.
Infinitely dense.
That's a
What?
really
the last
long
comment
time.
is by Ben with his boots on.
Really?
What kind of boots do you have, Ben? Steel-toed, man? Composite? I'm trying to think of the brands I saw when I bought boots that once.
What?
Wolverine? I could make things up. Trail Tech. I don't know.
There you go.
sounds good, right?
Mm, mm.
Mag Steel Shank.
Shank. That's like the Joker. He had the little knife.
Yeah, I have the little knife on his foot, on his shoe.
Mag Steel Shank. That's it. Yeah, you got it. Yeah, that's it. That's what Ben says. He has Mag Steel Shank.
Who has
Yeah, I
Mag
was
Steel Shank?
reading his
Oh, that's a real
comment.
thing?
I was
Oh.
reading his comment.
Let me try
All
this
right,
real
that's
quick.
enough.
Prison jargon.
Nope, no
Whoa.
such luck.
What would you really call a shank?
Call a what?
Improvised
Oh, shank. I
stabber.
thought you said skate.
Hey, did you see StarCraft 1 got HD version release or something to that effect?
The original was not in HD.
Yeah, that's right.
No,
I
it was-
didn't see that.
I
I don't know,
didn't. I wouldn't even think.
Maybe
To,
it was April Fool's, but I mean, it looked pretty legit. I saw. I perused
So this
Reddit,
infinite.
Reddit
stop
pretty regularly.
talking, Joe Rogan. Uno momento.
No, it's not. The whole bottom of the shoe is metal. That's crazy. For what? That reminds me of the Legend of Zelda boots. You needed to walk on the bottom of the water because that made you so heavy.
StarCraft remastered.
Okay, this is what
Have
we're
you
gonna,
heard of
this is what we're
StarCraft?
gonna have to do. This is what.
I
we're
know.
gonna
I mean, it
have
looked
to
pretty legit. Looked like StarCraft 1 still, but
do. I remember seeing, and this is how old I am. I remember seeing a.
shanks are the little like reinforced thing.
Mhm.
Under the, yeah, I just remembered that now that Ben told me.
I remember seeing an ad in an old PC Gamer magazine, that showed like it was like a preview of StarCraft. It was before StarCraft had come out, and it was after Warcraft 2. And the screenshot looked exactly. If you ever played Warcraft 2, it was Warcraft 2 with like different units and different background, and all it was like a little subheading that was like, "Just Warcraft in space, huh?" And then like a year and a half later, StarCraft came out, and it was way different than that. And it's like, I wonder if that was there was a lot of people saying that. We're just like, really? What, you're just gonna do Warcraft 2 in space? Is that all we're really getting? Because it was after that, it was very much not just Warcraft 2 in space. So,
I got nothing. I don't
Yeah,
read
nothing.
magazines. I'm not that generation.
All right. Well, then let's.
I don't attack
Yeah.
YouTubers because I want to maintain my revenue streams from magazines.
One more. We got this. We can do this. Reorder. I'm like building everything. Move up from the ground up right now. Here we go. All right. So before we go, last thing I wanted to talk about was life, the universe, and everything. So I heard this really good episode of Joe Rogan's podcast, and he had this guy on, Lawrence Krauss, who's a really smart, really. I really should look these things up before. He's like an astrophysicist or something. He talks about quantum physics and mechanics and things like that a lot. So I'm assuming that's what he does. But their conversation was really cool. It was 2.5 hour long conversation. But I grabbed a couple points out of here because I found them interesting. And I'm sure I've said this before. I find it really not strange, but disingenuous that a lot of times it has come to a point where to be intellectual means you cannot leave any room for like religion or even a degree of spirituality, because you have to be smart enough to know that if there's no evidence of it, then it's not true. Like,
Yeah, I understand that viewpoint a little bit though, because
I
you can't test a hypothesis if you don't have facts, right?
exactly. But as we're about to see, really smart scientists have no problem saying things like, yeah, well, we don't know, but that's likely how it works. We think. Maybe. But we don't know, which is actually says a lot, which is fine. Say that. But then when you try and say, well, maybe that empty space that you have no idea what's in there or even what it would look like, or even if you could look at it in general, and well, maybe that's part of the unknown that we... No, that's stupid. It's something other than what you're saying. We don't know what, but it's something other than what you're saying. No intelligent design whatsoever. So... let's roll some.
So this infinitely dense point of 13.8 billion years ago, this whatever it was, this something out of nothing point. What are your thoughts about before that?
Well, here's the thing that you're going to hate.
Okay.
One possibility, which is quite plausible, if our space suddenly popped out of nothing, Einstein tells us that space and time are together. We live in a four-dimensional universe. So if space began at that instant, so did time. So there was no before. The question isn't a good question. Time didn't exist till our universe came into existence. So to ask the question, what was before, is not a good question.
So time didn't exist before 13.8 billion years ago.
It could be that if our universe is all there is, and that we happen to think, by the way, is not likely, but if it is, then it doesn't make sense to ask the question, what was before, because time didn't exist. It sounds like a cop-out, and it kind of is, but it may also be true.
So this...
So, before time, there was no such thing as time. If there was something, we don't know what it is. We don't know how long it was, but it wasn't measured in time like we measure it today. Does that sound
Or
familiar?
it's a different dimension.
It was a different dimension of time.
Yeah.
It may have even been infinite. In fact, it may not even been measured in time. Does that sound familiar to anyone? As far as my understanding of like a pre-existence was that it was not measured in time. It was measured in like eternity. And this small existence in which we live, which we call our universe, is the only time that is actually measured the way we measure time. And things beyond that are measured differently. That's a religious point of view that I hold. And it's a scientific point of view that he holds, which are often considered to be incompatible. But what I love, and I'm not... all right, this is not Bill Nye. I'm not trying to make this guy look like an idiot, because he's not like Bill Nye. But he has this look on his face like, can you believe it? How crazy is that? We don't even know what's out there. And I'm like, yeah, I can believe it. And I do think it's crazy. That's why, like, I leave room for some pause. That's why I leave room for things of a eternal nature that we don't understand. Let's turn that volume back on. Here's another clip.
You look smug in that.
Roll the clip. Oh, he's a scientist. How can you not? How can you be that smart? This guy is very smart. I would recommend this entire episode. It's very smart. How do you
It's
not?
so fascinating that there's this element that's a huge part of the universe itself that we're not really exactly sure what it is.
Talking about
Yeah,
dark
isn't that
matter.
great?
It's amazing.
It's amazing. There are mysteries. What unfortunately people get told is that it makes it seem like, you know, science was done and it's all done. It was done by dead white men 200 years ago. That's not... The mysteries continue. That's why it's the greatest story ever told so far. That's why young kids should be interested in science, because life is full of mysteries and we've learned so much about the universe, but it gets more mysterious and more exciting. And every time we open a new window on the universe, we're surprised. That's why we got to keep looking out and not looking in.
Exactly. See, the way he's talking, it sounds like he's about to say, which is why we can't rule out the possibility of intelligent design or you know, or anything like that. That's what it seems to me. It sounds odd to have that kind of perspective and then turn around and be like, no. There's a lot we don't know, but we do know it's not that.
Does he say that? Does he say that in there? in that interview, he's like, that can't be God.
Now, does that prove that that's what happened? No, but it makes it plausible. And it makes it plausible without supernatural shenanigans. And any time you can get rid of God, it's a good thing.
But isn't something out of nothing supernatural shenanigans?
No, because it happens all the time.
Right.
You know, this is an example I've been talking about a few times today to people. The lights in this studio, okay? The lights above us, our head. So what happened? So electrons change energy levels in atoms, and they emit photons. Where were the photons before they were emitted? They weren't in the atoms.
Where were they?
They didn't exist. They were spontaneously created.
They were turned on by the light switch?
No,
So
when
the
you
light
turn the light
switch
switch,
is God?
no, they're spontaneously created because there's no cause for any of them. Each
I love Joe Rogan. So yeah, I missed it. I left off a part before this. They were talking about how he says the entire the net energy.
That's
the
a
net,
meme right there. That face is gonna be a meme.
He makes it in every. You should have seen his face when he had Alex Jones on.
Oh yeah.
Whew, so he was just saying that the net energy of the universe is zero because the positive and negative energy balances itself out, which means to create the universe, you didn't need any energy. It's a net. It's not. You didn't have to break the laws of physics to create the universe, and then it governs. The universe was created under the same laws in which it exists. And he says, well, that means you don't need supernatural shenanigans, as he calls it. But his point is, because we figured out that you don't need this supernatural shenanigans, you don't need God to create the universe, therefore God did not create the universe. What he's also saying is, we've figured out how God may have created the universe. We may now understand that it isn't supernatural shenanigans to create a universe. Therefore, it's plausible that a being did it. That's another way to approach the situation of, you don't need supernatural powers to create a universe. Therefore, no one ever created a universe.
Huh. That's
Right?
unique. I haven't looked at it from that way before.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, if you were to say that, they'd be like, no. There is no need for supernatural, unexplainable powers. Therefore, it wasn't done by supernatural, unexplainable people.
So it's creatable.
It is it's creatable,
That's
but
good.
you can understand how it's created. Not that you can create one, but it doesn't break our current laws of physics. You don't need to go outside the realm of the way the universe actually works to create a universe, is what he's saying. So,
I could
yeah, there's no magic tricks over here, which is why I think I was talking to you about this earlier, which is funny because they're going to end up discovering how God created the universe, and they're going to be like, see, we figured out how you can create a universe, therefore God didn't do it. We could do one, and it's like, well, if you could create a universe, how is that different? Like, because we're not God, but we could create a whole universe and work all the people inside of it or whatever. They could literally get to that point and then go, but this isn't God. All right, that's a thing I have in a box in my brain tucked aside that I'm told is just never ever an approachable, plausible. Does that make sense to you? What I'm saying?
To a degree.
The idea of if they
makes me-
figured out how God works, they would not call him God anymore. You'd be like, well, yeah, this is God. He does these things. You found something that does these things. That's God. And they're like, no, God can't be found, and we found something. Therefore, like that, it seems like that kind of a fallacy. Joe Rogan seems to be loving it though. I love that face. So
You got some comments.
do I? Oh, they're right up here. Shank is your foot. Thanks. Without someone taking a godless point of view, we would have the very info that would we have the very info that proves God? That's a good question.
That there has to be a God.
Oh, okay. Oh, does it limit you guys to 200 characters? I'm so sorry. Exactly. Thank you, Ben. Thank you. Anytime you can eliminate God, that's a good thing. Oh, gee, it's shaky right now. Yeah, that tells the whole story right there. Another physicist said, give us one miracle, the Big Bang, and we'll explain the rest. Exactly. Well, yeah. I think people taking that point of view is yet another way that God proves himself, because even those that don't, I'm assuming, believe, end up discovering things that lead to the same conclusions. And we've heard that, trumpet sound and Christ comes and everybody goes, yeah, but that ain't real, you know, like people are still gonna sort of wag my finger, but people are still going to deny, like they're gonna see, you know, at first and be like, no, this isn't happening, and it's, yep, eventually everyone, I just got to see the replay of my hand motion, so thanks for that. So let's see, nothing before time, keep looking outward. All right, yeah, so I got one more to play here, and this probably sums up.
Yeah, well, it's confusing.
Well, yeah, but that's okay. Being
Yeah.
confused is that. I told you, being wrong or confused is the best part.
No, I see, I can get it. I get it.
What? That was weird. What is it doing? That was strange. I have no idea what's
I hope
going
you
on.
guys
there.
enjoyed
Yeah,
that.
well, it's
Oh.
confusing.
Well, yeah, but that's okay. Being
Yeah.
confused is that. I told you, being wrong or confused is the best part.
No, I see, I can get it. I get it.
Being wrong or confused is the best part. Good. So you'll be pretty happy when everything pans out and you were wrong and confused. Anyway, so like I said, I'm not trying to point out this guy's an idiot or anything, but it's just I saw it as a really good example of a mindset decidedly against the idea of intelligent design, to the point of saying, well, you don't even have to be that intelligent to design, therefore intelligent design. It's like, I don't, yeah. Sorry, you look confused.
I was looking at the comments.
Are they confusing?
No.
Well, after the effects we see in movies like Rogue One or The
Which just
Avengers,
came out.
yeah,
DVD,
on
Blu-ray.
Blu-ray and DVD, yeah, that did just come out. Of course, people will still be deceived. Effects. Sorry, I thought you meant like the effects of the movie, like
Social change.
social. Exactly. We saw what
Oh.
happened after they made that movie. After the effects of that one, man. I was okay. That took me a sec. Sound like being a husband. Yep. Yep. So thank you. Disembodied voice of Joe. That's Twig.
My pleasure.
FYI. So that was my point there. I guess just end on this point.
Hmm.
Is that I'm fascinated by these kinds of discussions like they were having in these topics, especially about where they're pointing out the holes in what we do and do not know about the universe, or what might be beyond the universe, or what was or wasn't before the universe, because those are the parts, and like he said, those are the parts where there's still work to do and there's still things to understand. And I have a very strong belief that we will be pleasantly surprised at the things that we discover more and more with bigger telescopes, more hadron colliders or whatever, where we can actually dig deeper into the universe. And we were talking, I don't think it was last week, it was the week before, about how you should not fear scrutiny, because either you're right and you'll be proved right, or you're wrong and you should want to know. And I think it's very important to take to a scientific perspective, especially when they're talking about things like this, where, you know, anytime you can remove God from the situation, that's a net gain. But at the same time, you can listen to what he's saying, and what's interesting is I don't even think he has a similar understanding to, like I was saying, time before time. It's like, well, we didn't even know what time before time looked like, and well, it's like we don't, but I have a hypothesis on that, and I don't know if you know, but I don't know if you've even heard my hypothesis on that, or even been open to the idea of it. But so when science advances, don't fear the scrutiny, because whatever we learn whatever we learn to be the truth is the truth, and we just add that to the top of our pile of truth, and anything that we can replace that with other truth. That's that's a net gain. Would you say?
I agree.
Absolutely. Yeah, I love
Yes,
the pile
definitely.
of truth comparison.
You got to take Jenga. If you take out the wrong pieces of truth, everything falls down. Truth Jenga. I'll put that on a shirt. All right, so
I can
Thank-
dig that.
you could dig that. Sweet. Well, thanks for sitting through our.
We're not done yet. We haven't done the word of the day.
Oh, thanks for sitting
Well,
through.
I guess it's word of the week, really, since it's just once a week.
Yeah, but we're only talking today. So.
Here it is.
Word of the week. We'll go with word of the week. What's your word of the week?
Vituperative. 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 Bitter.
Vituperative? Vitriperative.
No.
Vituperative.
It's bitter and abusive. So it could describe insults or comments about somebody. The
This
vituperative.
celery is bitter and abusive. I don't know.
I've
I
never-
thought you were describing taste at first.
No,
Taste and only taste. Thank you. And apparently marked by harsh. They don't have the word bitter on there at all.
Ninja words. I don't know.
Are we not trying to build our ninja vocabulary? I've never heard a ninja say
It's a more concise
Bit too
definition. It doesn't include everything.
well, a really fast dictionary.
Like what?
Like a fast ninja.
Oh, not just a regular
Yeah.
ninja.
No, like a fast ninja. Or fast like a ninja. Anyway.
I hope you guys use these. You should use these throughout the week. Just saying.
So next time you're talking to somebody
Uh,
who's being verbally abusive, stop vituperating me.
I
Vituperating
don't
me.
know the
Vituper.
You could say
How would you
quit,
turn
quit your vituperation.
vituperation? Yeah, is that look up other forms of the word. Can you use it that way as a verb?
Vituperation, bitter and abusive language. Oh, but this has a pronunciation.
Vituperation. Say that again.
That's not going to be really loud.
Vituperation.
What?
Vituperation.
Vituperation, ladies and gentlemen.
Vituperation.
Did you get it?
Okay, well with that, thank you for the word of the day,
Oh,
other
for
Matt.
sure.
So with that, I guess thanks for joining us this week for our off-brand of vituperation. Yeah, there you go. Already using it. Already using it.
All right.
Thanks for your comments in the chat. Thanks for joining us in the live. Thank you for putting up with the with our this week's episode of Technical Difficulties, the show. We will try and have no, we won't. Tomorrow, next week will be just as good. So,
If
yeah.
not better.
Yeah.
if
Yes,
not
yeah, that's
better.
right.
Hey, we're stepping up. It was like, hey, you muted just Bill Nye's video. Then it was like you muted yourselves for 10 minutes, and then and then this week it's like total shutdown. So, yay! All right. So thanks so much for joining us today. Appreciate it. You guys stopping by and
You're asking me
everything.
if I
and-
appreciate it. Yeah, I appreciate it.
No.
Yeah, I appreciate it too. We're good. Thank you.
No, I make it a point never to vituperate. Very good. All right. Well, nothing to add. Thank
That
you.
was it. That was
Do you
my
have-
cherry
do you
on
have any-
top.
Do you have
Thank
anything that
Corey.
that you?
What else can we say that's already been said?
That
There's
hasn't
more
already
to
been
do
said? We
than
can say
has
a lot
ever
that's already
been
been
done.
said.
Wait, that's the second line. More to do than has ever been done. Circle of life. I'm trying to find it. I had it pulled up earlier. The computer shut down. I don't know if you guys were there for that, but computer
The
shut
government
down, so I'm
shut
trying to pull
down.
it up.
Couldn't decide if they were going
That's
to raise
exactly
the-
what happened. All right,
That's
same time next week, 9 o'clock, Thursday night. We will see you guys joining us
Eastern
in
time.
studio. Eastern time, thank you. Joining us in studio, hopefully the somewhat other embodied voice of Joe. I haven't figured out how to say that yet. We'll see. Maybe not. It crashed my system this week. But yeah, so thanks
Too
so
many
much.
polygons.
Too many polygons.